Okay, St. Louis, I have kind of an insane idea for you. I think it's one you're actually going to really like. I'm calling it everyday worship. You'll figure out why here in a sec, but let me set this idea up for you. So, cannabis was legalized recreationally in Missouri on January 1st this year, 2023. Already, it has done 350 million in total revenue. It's projected to be $1 billion industry by the end of the year. And all of that money is being funneled through 214 places that are these licensed dispensaries. So even though there are all of these new places to buy cannabis, there are zero places in St. Louis to consume together. We're missing this important cultural space. For consuming alcohol together, we have bars. For consuming coffee together, we have coffee shops. You don't necessarily have to like alcohol or coffee to enjoy going to those spaces that have kind of grown culturally out of those two kind of recreational substances. So, what is that for cannabis? St. Louis is this extremely creative, community centric city that craves these non traditional spaces. We have the City Museum, which is this kind of flagship for St. Louis that now draws a bunch of tourism, brings in $16 million a year to the city. And it's this refurbished old shoe factory. This new bar opened in December of 2022 called the Armory. It's this 1938 infantry building that's reimagined to be this cool recreation space slash sports bar, which leads us to the idea. Everyday worship, St. Louis's first cannabis-friendly social club. And you might be wondering, what are those cool images that I'm looking at? Those are AI interpretations of what this space could look like. This is a former church in the Clifton Heights neighborhood of St. Louis. It's very centrally located. There are 10 dispensaries within 5 miles of this place. This is really just an example. St. Louis is full of these non-traditional spaces that could be reimagined as creative community kinds of spaces. The idea is to reimagine this space as a marijuana-friendly social club for creatives that's filled with artist installations and a coffee shop, basic creative amenities, creative spaces, and workshop spaces. This outdated office becomes a meditation space. This workshop becomes an art studio. The main atrium becomes this stage and venue for musicians or stand-up comics or poets. Even the common areas have this opportunity to be reinterpreted and reimagined by local artists or invited artists to really breathe new life into the space. It is really easy for cannabis culture to take these cringy turns into 420 stoner tropes, and that is not at all what we're going for with everyday worship. The idea for everyday worship is to uplift values like creativity, empathy, open-mindedness, and to create a space that cultivates that among St. Louis as a community. The programming side of this is really fun to brainstorm. We have tons of ideas for this already. In addition to just having like a normal lounge space and opening this up to members to just utilize as working, meeting, hanging out space, local music features. This kind of like reinterpreted church would make for really cool video backdrops too. Dispensary pop-ups partnering with local cannabis businesses to help them increase their footprint and to find ones that are really manifesting values that we think are aligned with the community. Food trucks, art galleries, giving people dedicated rooms throughout the space that allows them to create an artist installation or that allows them to display their work and sell their work. Yoga and art workshops, a visual library, skill shares, we can do educational talks. The purpose of sharing this is really to get a sense of whether or not this is interesting to you as a St. Louis community. I live in St. Louis. I would love to attend a space like this, but I'm genuinely curious to those of you who also live in St. Louis, would you join everyday worship?